I was just audibly saying to myself, what in the actual heck did I just watch? I'm at such a loss for words right now. I was really excited to go see this movie. I thought that it had so much promise. The story sounded really intriguing. I'm a big, huge fan of Jenna Ortega and her acting. I even thought this movie could have been a great candidate for Sleeper Movie of the Year. You know, those movies that you didn't really hear much about, but they turned out to be just absolutely fantastic. Yet, what we got is the biggest mashup of garbage that I have ever seen in my life. This could possibly be the worst movie that I have ever seen. It shouldn't be named Hurry Up Tomorrow. It should be named Hurry Up and Do Something Already, or just end the movie for the love of all that is good. Now, I would love to give you some context for this movie, but oh wait, this was an entire movie without any context throughout. You don't know who the characters are or why they're doing what they're doing. The synopsis says that it's about an insomniac musician, but oh wait, at no point do they ever show or mention that the Weeknd's character is an insomniac. It goes on to say how he encounters a mysterious stranger, which he doesn't encounter till almost an hour into this hour and 45-minute movie.
One eternity later.
I mean, half the movie is over before the main characters finally meet each other, and this movie truly starts. It finishes by saying how this meeting leads to a journey that will change everything he knows about himself. Guess what? There's no journey. There's minimal dialogue between these characters with some small snippets of emotional moments, but this entire movie is nothing what it says it is. Whoever wrote this movie should never write another movie ever again. This isn't hyperbole, that's just fact. This is garbage. The entire plot is terrible. It's filled with plot holes. As I mentioned, the main characters don't even meet till the first half of the movie is already over. Then when they do meet, it's the most illogical way that you could ever think of them meeting. Which it then leads into the last act of the movie. There were some horror-ish aspects to this movie that just seemed so out of place. I don't know if these were supposed to represent the inner demons he was trying to battle, but again, there was never any context given. Jenna Ortega's character was completely out of pocket. They tried to give her a little bit of a backstory, but one that has no real context. Shocker, right? So it means really absolutely nothing. She literally could have just been introduced when they met, or maybe even slightly before, and it wouldn't have been any big deal. I mean, the worst part of this is that the movie had so much promise, but they just fumbled the bag so badly with the script, it never had a chance. I shouldn't have been too shocked by this being bad. It was the opening weekend, and I went to a showing that was at 6 p.m. on a Saturday evening in a theater that seats close to 200 people, and I was the only person in the theater. Like, that's crazy. Like, this movie should have been filled with at least some other people, but nope, I was the only one. So that should have been my first clue that this may not be a good movie. I remember as the credits started to roll after it was over, I was just audibly saying to myself, what in the actual heck did I just watch? Now, not everything was bad. The acting by the Weeknd and Jenna Ortega was absolutely phenomenal. They took a piece of trash script and they did the absolute best that they could with the characters. This could have been Jenna Ortega's best acting performance of her career. It was that good. I haven't seen everything that she's been in, so I don't know for sure about that, but it's definitely up there if it wasn't her best one. I'm also not too familiar with the Weeknd's acting skills, but he crushed it. The way that this movie was filmed and some of the cinematography choices that were made were really unique in a very good way. And that would have made this movie stand out if the script wasn't so bad. Sorry, I know it feels like I keep harping on it, but it truly was that bad. And I'm not alone on this either. Like, every single critic that I had read agreed with me. I don't think that I had read one critic that had a positive review of this movie. It's only got about a 13% rating on Rotten Tomatoes as of filming this video, and the fan score was higher with very limited reviews, but I think there's a reason for that. See, after reading some of those reviews, I found out that this movie was starring The Weeknd, playing The Weeknd, or a fictionalized version of himself. So it's about him, but it's not about him, yet it's kind of about him, but not really him. It also is an extension of his album of the same name. I heard one person explain it as a giant music video, and that makes complete sense because I literally had that same feeling while watching this movie, not knowing it was that. The fact that The Weeknd made this movie for a full theatrical release is absolutely mind-blowing. I think it really shows how much of a narcissist that he really is. This should have been a short released to his fans who bought his album, not a full theatrical release. No, I could go on and on and on about this aspect longer and how it correlates to the movie, but I've really spent enough time on this. So if you're a huge fan of The Weeknd, you may find some enjoyment out of this movie, but unless you're one of the 10,000 people that he made it for who are super fans, then don't waste your time or money and just skip it. It's not even worth watching for free when it hits the streaming, unless you want to torture yourself or someone else. I'd give this movie about a 1.5 out of 10. It really was that bad. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. We are still collecting crisis care kits for people who have lost everything due to natural disasters or war. The link is down in the comments if you want to help out. Since you're here, why don't you check out my trailer review for Nobody 2 right here. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video.